Hi, my name is Quinn and I am defending the species Diaphorina citri, also known as the Asian citrus facilid.
Hi, my name is Haley Williams, and I will be defending the Anoplophora glabripennis, also known as the Asian longhorn beetle. Today, Quinn and I will be deciding which beetle is the better invading species.
Native to the south of Asia, the Diaphorina citri is a 3 to 4 millimeter long insect that finds its home among citrus plants. For this reason, the insect's common name is the Asian citrus facilid. This insect goes through 3 different life stages. Beginning in the egg stage, the eggs are laid on leaves of citrus fruit plants. They are almond-shaped eggs that turn an orangey color as the egg matures. Next is the nymph stage. There are different phases throughout this stage as the insect grows and matures. Then lastly, there is the adult stage, where the insect reaches about 2.5 millimeters long for males and approximately 3.1 millimeters long for females. At maturity, they have a yellowish-brown body with speckled wings. When the adults are approached by a threat, they can leap and fly, but only for very short distances in order to get to safety. The D. citri impacts humans through transmitting this bacteria to citrus plants that leads to a disease called Hung Long Bean. The disease causes the fruit of the citrus trees to be inedible, as it dries it out and hinders proper development of the plant. This disease is also referred to as greening disease because of the greening color that it gives the citrus tree's leaves. And this also makes it pretty obvious to identify. And there are methods of controls that can be used in order to stop the spreading of the disease. The Asian citrus facilid can be identified by their wings, which helps to decipher them from the very similar African citrus facilid.
Indigenous to China, the Anoplophora glabripennis is a wood-boring insect. On average, males are about 25 millimeters long, while females are 35 millimeters long. Its body is covered with white spots, and its antennae tend to be 1.3 to 2.5 its body length. As you can guess, its very long antennae is why some people call it the Asian longhorn beetle. It starts as an oblong white egg that yellows and browns as the egg gets closer to hatching. And hatching begins about 2 weeks prior to the female laying her eggs under the bark of trees. Next, in the larval stage, the legless grub is creamy white and 50 millimeters long when fully grown. During this stage, larvae eat or feed through the woody tissues of the host and as it continues to grow and mature. Lastly, after full maturation, the beetle emerges from the tree through a circular hole near the site where the eggs were laid. In this adult stage, the legs have formed and the antennae have developed into 11 segments. For the most part, these beetles remain on the tree from which they emerge or fly short distances to trees nearby. However, through the process of international trade, these beetles have found their way to other continents, such as North America. Many scientists believe that they are transported as eggs during the process of wood packing. This has greatly impacted other continents as well. When these pests dig through hardwood, they leave large holes in the host, making it susceptible to sap flow. With that, this leaves the host at risk for attacks from other pests and disease. Methods of control, such as planting hybrid trees, have been developed and continue to evolve in order to stop the spreading of the beetles and the downgrading of value in hardwood.
The Asian citrus facilid is a very dangerous thing to the fruit industry. This insect has the potential to significantly harm citrus farmers' crops all over the world. Because the ACP feed on the citrus trees and leave harmful bacteria that can lead to greening disease, all citrus plants are at risk. The evidence for this disease is visible, but since the main effect is greening of the leaves, which can also be caused by a lot of plant deficiencies, it is hard to truly notice until after the fruit is produced. Fruit production is drastically decreased once this disease hits a plant because the fruit will be small, lopsided, and dried out. typically about 5 years after a plant gets the disease, this tree will die. A lot of the focus in managing these insects has been preventing the spread of them by quarantining that area that are already infected. The first known affected area in the U.S. was in Florida, which led to it rapidly dispersing throughout the state. When the ACP travel from infected tree to uninfected tree is when the disease spreads, so managing the insects themselves has been the main focus. Setting sticky traps and using chemical control elements are two ways that people have made efforts to kill the bugs. The key to preventing this invading species is to detect them early and kill them before they can spread the disease.
The Asian longhorn beetle poses a potential threat at damaging our forests. This could have ripple effects such as damaging our ecosystem, increasing our carbon footprint, or decreasing the amount of oxygen available. However, in China, there is no indication that the Asian longhorn beetle is a pest in natural forests. So, here in America, we may have less to worry about our natural forests and more to worry about in urban areas. The cost of damage in urban areas such as New York has been exponential. Back in 1966, after an infestation in New York, it has been estimated that 1.2 billion trees were lost, resulting in $669 billion value loss. Furthermore, these beetles have not only affected trees such as maples and elms, but have also caused damage to fruit trees. The damage that these beetles inflict can stunt growth in trees and damage fruit shoots, resulting in an economic loss of fruit. Lastly, in urban areas, pedestrians and vehicles are at risk of falling branches. Unlike the Asian longhorn beetle, the citrus beetle seems to be more widespread throughout the United States. Therefore, it may pose a greater threat here in the United States.
The Asian citrus phaslid is present throughout many parts of southern United States. These locations have been quarantined and resultantly no plants are allowed to be transported out of those regions. These infected regions include Texas, Hawaii, Georgia, Florida, and parts of California. Throughout Asia, where the insect originates from, the Asian citrus phaslid is regulated with insecticides. Most of the spreading of greening disease occurs when infected plants are moved to other places by people. Since the bug can't travel far, only transporting clean, uninfected plants can work wonders with preventing the outbreak of this disease that could be detrimental to citrus plants. On the other hand, the Asian longhorn beetle is much harder to detect and prevent. As Haley stated, the beetle can be very harmful to trees in urban areas, which would lead to air pollution and billions of dollars worth of trees. In addition, lumber and firewood are often transported throughout the country, and because the beetle can hide in these types of wood, it could lead to the beetle being spread.
Some preventative action can be taken to control for these pests. In China, they have planted hybrid trees along buildings, roads, farms that are not susceptible to the longhorn beetle. Furthermore, like the citrus beetle, the direct application of insecticides have been used, but the planting of hybrid trees is preferred. Here in the United States, we have worked to prevent the transportation of these pests by monitoring the woodpacking materials that is used in international trade. This may include, but is not limited to, the treatment of the wood used. Treatment takes the form of heat treatment, where the wood is heated to an internal temp of 56 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. As for the citrus beetle, horticultural oils, soaps, neem products, and kaolinite products can also be used to suppress infestation. These methods may be more attainable and cost efficient to individuals such as farmers versus paying for or importing a number of trees. They are also easier to come by and can be easily spread throughout the soil. Preventative action for both pests calls for close monitoring of the trees for eggs and larvae.
The damage the Asian citrus phaslid can have is frightening, but in comparison to the Asian longhorn beetle, it is a much preferred insect. The beetle is all around more harmful in the grand scheme of things, and harder to get rid of because it likes to hide in wood. While both insects are harmful, the beetle exceeds the phaslid in negative impact because of its ability to be hidden, while the phaslid remains vulnerable to insects and cleaning. The Asian citrus phaslid is more important to study because it already has had significant impact on in the citrus industry, and left unchecked, it could grow to be exponentially more. If the general population knew how to identify and treat plants with the Asian citrus bacillid living on them, then our problem could be drastically decreased already. In general, the Asian citrus bacillid is the best pest to have to deal with in comparison to the Asian longhorn beetle.
As you can see, the Asian longhorn beetle poses a potential threat at damaging the deciduous forests around us. Luckily for us, this is mainly in the eastern part of the U.S. Feeding on hardwoods such as maples, elms, and willows, and birch trees, the beetles won't be destroying only trees. They could cause a downgrade of hardwoods, damage the food sources for other animals, timber, and the very oxygen we breathe. While the citrus psyllid can cause great damage as well, they are easier to control for. With oils or over-the-counter soil spreads, immediate preventative action is available to control for these pests. Through the study of the Asian longhorn beetle, we can find more evolved ways to control for the transfer of these beetles through international trade. This could take the form of finding other ways to pack crates or a better way to treat the wood shavings. It's important for scientists to study these pests, not only to find out how they damage parts of our ecosystem, but also to find what they are contributing. In conclusion, we believe the Asian longhorn beetle poses the greatest threat. Therefore, the citrus psyllid is the best invading species to have on your hand.